Laboratory Science Student Society. Today's session is the one many of us have eagerly awaited as we delve into the topic of postgraduate opportunities for MLS graduates.
Indeed, this session aims to open new doors and provide valuable insights for those pursuing or considering postgraduate pathways. To help us navigate this topic, we have invited a distinguished speaker whose expertise will undoubtedly enlighten us all.
To formally open today's session, I would like to invite Mr. Ashant Satsarar, the President of the Ruhuna Medical Laboratory Science Student Society, to deliver the welcome speech. Mr. Ashant, over to you.
Good morning, everyone. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all to the first session of the webinar series organized by the Ruhuna Medical Laboratory Science Student Society. Although he is unable to join us today, I would like to acknowledge Professor Imendra Kottapola, Dean of the Faculty of Allied Health Sciences, University of Ruhuna. I would also like to extend a warm welcome to Dr. J.A.N. Sandamali, the patron of our society and the head of the Department of Medical Laboratory Science. And to our esteemed guest speaker for today's session, Dr. Prabhavi Wijesiriwardhana, postdoctoral researcher at the Eunice Shriver National Institute of Child Health and Human Development, USA, and former senior lecturer in the Department of Medical Laboratory Science, Faculty of Allied Health Science, University of Ruhuna. Additionally, I would like to welcome all of the academic staff and undergraduates from the Department of Medical Laboratory Science. On behalf of the society, I warmly welcome you all to the first session of the webinar series. I encourage you to make the most of today's session and gain valuable insight from our speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ashan, for that warm welcome. We are now honored to have with us Dr. J.A.N. Sandamali, Head of the Department of Medical Laboratory Science, Faculty of Allied Health Sciences, University of Ruhuna, who will share her thoughts on today's session. Madam, the virtual stage is yours.
Okay, good morning, y'all. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Good morning, madam. We can hear you.
Okay. Okay, very good morning, all of you. And first of all, I would like to thank for giving me this opportunity to address the gathering. And actually, this webinar is organized by the 4th MLS Society Office Bearers, and I am thankful to all of you for organizing this kind of important events, because webinars are valuable opportunities for all of us to learn from true experts in the field. As MLS students, you are aware of the importance of continuous learning in your profession, and also hearing from someone who has succeeded at the highest level will definitely inspire you. If I am talking about today's resource person, Dr. Prabhavi Wijesiriwardhana, actually we are privileged to have this distinguished speaker, a former member of the MLS family, who has now advanced into the field of postdoctoral research. The journey of our resource person is an inspiring one, as she has transitioned from being an academic member to becoming a leading researcher in the field and in a well-recognized institute, National Institute of Health in USA. Personally, I know that she could achieve this due to her dedication, perseverance, and quest for knowledge. Today's sessions will definitely be insightful and thought-provoking, as Dr. Prabha will share her experiences, challenges she has overcome, and her cutting-edge research work. So I think there are separate introduction regarding the resource person. So therefore, I am not going to talk much without taking more time from you. I would like to give this opportunity for our resource person. Finally, I express our sincere gratitude to you, Dr. Prabhavi Wijesiriwardhana, for accepting our invitation to share your experiences. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam, for your encouraging words and continued support. We now turn to the core of today's session. It is our privilege to welcome our guest speaker, Dr. Prabhavi Wijesiriwardhana, currently serving as a postdoctoral researcher at the Eunice Shriver National Institute of Child Health and Human Development in Bethesda, Maryland, USA.
Dr. Prabhavi brings over a decade of experience in academia and research. She was previously a senior lecturer in the Department of Medical Laboratory Science at the University of Ruhuna. Her academic credentials are impressive, including a PhD in human genetics from the University of Colombo, a Master of Science in Experimental Biotechnology from the University of Peradeniya, and a bachelor's degree in medical laboratory science from the same institution. Her expertise in genetic epidemiology, research, and teaching has greatly contributed to the field of medical laboratory science both in Sri Lanka and internationally.
Today, Dr. Prabhavi will be sharing her insights on postgraduate opportunities for MLS graduates, drawing from her extensive experience and current research endeavors. Before we begin, I would like to remind you all that at the end of this session, we have arranged a question and answer session. So you can unmute your mics and ask questions regarding today's topic from any language that you prefer, either English or Sinhala. And also, we will keep the chat box open for you to ask questions from our resource person. Until then, please make sure to keep your mics muted. Now, please join me in welcoming Dr. Prabhavi Wijesiriwardhana. Over to you, madam.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. So it's a privilege to see you and talk to you once again. I must thank the Ruhuna Medical Laboratory Science Student Society as well as the Department of Medical Laboratory Science for inviting me to this opportunity. Actually, I'm not a new person. So yeah, and thank you for the nice introduction. Dear Dr. Sandamali, head of the department, and also the students who gave me the nice introduction. I appreciate it a lot. So today in my talk, I would like to explain about the possible postgraduate opportunities that we have and to share a little bit of the experiences that I have so far. So let's start the presentation. And as you were informed, if you have questions, we can discuss it when we arrive the question session. So please collect your questions and you can ask anything. And I'm happy to help as well as I'm happy to answer all the questions as much as possible. Okay, so let's move on to the presentation. So I'm going to share my presentation. Okay. May I know whether you can see my presentation? Ashan, can you see my presentation?
Yes, madam,
okay.
we can see.
Thank you. So as you see in the topic, I'm going to discuss how to secure postgraduate opportunities for MLS graduates, basically for us. So since I had a very good introduction and there's no point of introducing me, so I'm Prabhavi. And let's move on to the content. So basically, I'm going to discuss about little bit about the possible opportunities ahead of you, because by now most of you are aware of the opportunities ahead of you and why we need to do further studies and stepwise clarification of how to find a postgraduate study, as well as little help on drafting the documents related to this application process. Also some take-home messages and briefly about my career. Okay, so in this slide, as you see, we know once you're graduated, you can join to research institutes and you can work as full-time researchers. And also you can join the academic, you can join as academic person. Okay, so I'm trying to get rid of this thing. Okay. Okay. You can join as academic persons, like the lecturers in your institution. So, okay, and also you can join as researchers even to the universities. And if you're wealthy enough, you can have your own lab. And also you can join industry. Last not least, you can join to the government and private sector laboratories as medical laboratory scientists or QC supervisors, QC analysis. Likewise, there are plenty of opportunities ahead of you. But most importantly, you need to keep in mind, it is important to be qualified because people seek for qualified people, okay? That is why it is important to follow these postgraduate courses and get more experiences. So if we talked about why we need to do postgraduate studies, basically it will help you to progress your profile. So that's obvious, right? So once you obtain postgraduate studies, you can get an idea about new career paths. And also for some people, it's their passion that drives them. You know, if you have the enthusiasm of learning new things and it's your passion that drives you. And for a certain group of people, it's a requirement. For me, it was basically a requirement, plus I had a little bit of passion that drives me through this wave. So these are some of the reasons why people tend to do postgraduate studies. It's up to you whether you are going to do postgraduate studies or you are going to stay with a bachelor's degree that you will be taking. Okay, if we move on to this slide, we can see what are the postgraduate programs that you can follow. So as medical laboratory science undergraduates, one day you will achieve this bachelor's degree in medical laboratory science. However, there are people who can achieve PhDs just after they qualified in their bachelor's degree. But there are some instances, people who are not, who don't need to get a direct PhD, but then when they need to get more information or when they need to be qualified in other ways, they tend to do postgraduate diplomas. Sometimes they tend to do master by coursework, which we call as MScs, but in other countries we call as MS. And also there are MPhil opportunities as well. In the meantime, people who qualified well in their bachelor's degree, they can directly pursue a PhD. And if you still have the passion and if you still have the enthusiasm of learning things, once you obtain a PhD, you can do a postdoc that can do further research in your field. So these are the basic opportunities related to postgraduate studies as a medical laboratory science graduate can follow. So recently I received an email from the Postgraduate Institute of Agriculture, University of Peradeniya, telling that they are in the process of advertising their postgraduate program. So as you see, they have masters by coursework, which is 1 year program with 30 credits. And also they have masters with coursework, and also there is a research component. It's a 2-year program with 60 credits, and they need to have a research component with a minimum of 15 credits. Also, they have a Masters of Philosophy like MPhil and Doctor of Philosophy program. So these are, so I included this just to show you what are the examples for these kind of possible postgraduate programs. So if you want to get selected, you have to have these kind of stuff. First thing, you need to have good class in your bachelor's degree. It's good if you can have a first class, but don't get demotivated if you have like lower or just pass. There are plenty of opportunities, and you can collect qualifications by doing masters or MPhils. And basically, your degree will be considered when you're trying to obtain a master's degree, or sometimes it is required for a PhD as well. And also, it's important if you can have your undergraduate research published at least in the university conferences. So, you know, in your faculty, you have FAHS, and in Peradeniya, they have IPAS. And if you can publish your undergraduate research as an abstract for these conferences, it's good. And also, if you can try to publish your manuscript in peer-reviewed journals, that is excellent. That will add a lot of qualifications if you want to pursue for a PhD. And also, you can have these MPhils and MScs as a qualification for PhDs. And most importantly, people like the mentors or the supervisors, they tend to consider the extracurricular activities that you have followed. It's because that when you're doing your masters or when you're doing your PhDs, you're going to work with a team. So the team effort is very much important. So when you're doing extracurricular activities, like you do involve with teamwork, and you do gain leadership, and you get the importance of respecting diversity. So it is important, and a lot of supervisors and mentors tend to focus on the extracurricular activities as well as the qualifications you have obtained during your bachelor's or other postgraduate programs. And if we move on to some tips, how to find these postgraduate studies, first thing you need to think about is to decide what is the program that you need to follow and where, the location. And then you need to check your eligibility, and then you need to prepare the documentation required for those programs. And then you need to find a supervisor later on. If the supervisors are not willing to offer a scholarship, you need to find a scholarship. So these are the most important steps that you need to follow. So let's discuss one by one. First thing, how to start. So the first thing is you can start with your dream country and dream university. So most people tend to move into other countries, and it is because those countries are one of the dream countries. But there are certain group of people who do well in their motherland. So I am an example. So I did my PhD in Sri Lanka. So there are plenty of good institutions, good supervisors in our country. So it depends. If your dream country is somewhere else, you can try for that. First, you have to start with your dream country as well as your dream university. And also you have a good bunch of seniors. Now you can follow their paths. Like when we were undergraduates, so I am from the second batch of MLS from Peradeniya. So when we were undergraduate, so we have only one batch ahead of us. So not like us, you have I think it is the 16th batch in your department. So you have a good bunch of seniors, so you can follow their paths and you can discuss with them, and you have very good qualified lecturers in the academic staff who have PhDs, so you can get advice from them. So there are plenty of opportunities and resources. And also keep in mind that these universities, they favor for low and middle income countries. So don't get discouraged, right? So if you want to follow postgraduate studies in other countries, keep in mind they favor low middle income countries. They try to help us, and they think that Asians are smart, so they are willing to help us. Okay. And also don't worry if you don't have money, there are scholarships available, right? So universities offer scholarships, so keep those things in mind and then try to enter to the process. Okay, so if we talked about the postgraduate opportunities in our country, there are lots of education institutes in Sri Lanka. So there are some links I have provided. I'm not going to go through each and every one, but if you can go through these institutes, and if you can search their education programs, you can see what are the master's programs, what are the MPhil programs, what are the PhD programs that you can follow. Not only in Sri Lanka, but also in other countries, there are plenty of opportunities that you can achieve, right? So this slide contains the opportunities specifically for medical laboratory science. So they have master's programs in medical laboratory science. So this is the North Dakota University in United States of America. So this is the Rutgers University in United States of America. And this is the RMIT University in Australia. They do have Masters of Laboratory Science, Laboratory Medicine program. So even in India, they have Masters in Medical Laboratory Science, also in New Zealand and Canada. So there are Masters programs specifically for Medical Laboratory Science. So we as Medical Laboratory Science graduates, we don't need to stick to Medical Laboratory Science, but we can go into other disciplines as well. So there are some examples where we find master's programs in other disciplines as well. So this is a master's program in human genetics. So this is a master's program in transfusion medicine. So here you see a master's program in histotechnology. So this is microbiology, medical science and immunology, and this is about the biotechnology program. So there are plenty of opportunities. What you have to do is you need to have the passion and you need to have the courage that I should achieve. Okay. So when you're trying to search these programs, first thing that you need to do is you can search in the university website. So you can search for programs. So I have provided a few links, like this is an example for the programs available in Postgraduate Institute of Science. Sorry. I'm using my office laptop, but there are some restrictions. I don't know whether it will direct me to this website. I don't think. Back to safety. Let me try. Okay. Can you see the screen, Ashan?
Yes, madam, we can see the presentation.
Just a presentation, right?
Yeah.
So how can I share this, the web page? Okay. I need to, how can I share this?
You need to stop sharing and reshare the browser.
Stop sharing. Okay. Okay. So this is the page of the Postgraduate Institute of Science. Now, can you see it, Asha?
Yes, madam, we can see.
Okay. So if we go into the academic tab, you can see the courses that you can follow. Postdoctoral fellowship, PhDs, MPhil, masters, postgraduate diplomas, there are plenty of things. So if you click this master's program, so you can see there's a clinical biochemistry program, experimental biotechnology program, molecular biology and biotechnology program, and also there is a very good course in applied statistics. So here you can see. So this is how you go into the university websites and try to find the programs. So in front of each program, you can see more information tab is there. So that will show you how much you need to pay, what are the course information, what are the modules that you have to follow, what is the duration of the program, likewise. Okay, now give me a moment, stop sharing. Sorry. Okay. And that is about Sri Lanka. And in other countries, so this is Genetics and Molecular Biology graduate program at the Emory University of United States. So if you click on this program, you will direct to the graduate program at the Emory University. And there are tab options where you can find the information of the degree, duration of the degree, what are the requirements and everything. Since it's taking time, I'm not going to go into that page, but if you click on this link, you will be able to go there. And also in the university website, you can search for potential supervisors. So when you find potential supervisors, what you have to do is you can draft a customized email, and then whether you can get an idea whether they need a proposal. So with the help of the supervisors, you can draft a proposal and then apply for a scholarship. So scholarships will be given through the university or sometimes through national awards or sometimes by other funding bodies. But these scholarships needs to be obtained, especially when you're following postgraduate programs in Australia or other countries. But basically in the United States of America, once you obtain your program, you will be automatically eligible for a scholarship, which we call it as a stipend. So it depends on the university and it depends on the country. Okay, and also the other option is, okay, there are external websites that you can follow. For an example, you can see in the first one, it's findphd.com. And there are plenty of websites that will show you possible master's or PhD opportunities. And also, you can find these programs if you are an active member in the LinkedIn. I know most of you have a Facebook account, but I don't think most of you have a LinkedIn account. So if you want, you can prepare a LinkedIn account today itself. There are plenty of resource persons. There are plenty of professions who are willing to share their experiences as well as who are willing to share this kind of PhD master's position. So you can network with people. So remember, prepare a LinkedIn account and try to be active participant of the LinkedIn account. So these are the basic ways how to find PhD scholarships. Now, let's move on to the eligibility. So when you go to these websites and when you go to these kind of programs, they have specific requirements. First thing is they need language requirement. Because we are international students, we need to fulfill this language requirement. So this language requirement can be fulfilled by academic IELTS, and there is something called TOEFL, IBT, and also PET. So these exams will help you to fulfill the English requirement that they are expecting. So IELTS, basically it's from 0 to 9 scale, and it's good if you can achieve 7 or 7.5, but some universities, they tend to accept even if you have 6.5. So TOEFL basically it's 0 to 120 scale, and if you can achieve greater than 90, that is great. And in Pearson test for English, so it's from 10 to 90 scale, so it's good if you can achieve from 76 to 84. So these are the things that you need to follow in order to fulfill your language requirement, which is one of the components to find or to get eligible for PhDs or master's program, especially in other countries. Apart from that, if you want to follow a master's or PhD's program in other countries, as well as in our country, so your the GPA is expected to be greater than 3 point. But don't get discouraged if you have like around 2.7 or something like that. But it's good if you can achieve high GPA. And also, these programs expect your official transcripts need to be evaluated by special evaluating bodies. So they have assigned special evaluating bodies like the WES, or there are a lot of evaluating bodies. So what you have to do is you need to tell the registrar of your university, and you need to make a request to send your official transcript to these evaluating bodies. So these evaluating bodies will evaluate your transcript, and they will directly send to the prospective universities. So that is what is meant by evaluating the official transcripts. And also when you're applying for these PhD programs, as well as master's programs, they require letters of recommendation. So that's why you need to perform well, both academically and both personally. You have to perform well. If not, you will not be able to get good recommendation from your supervisors. So 3 letters of recommendations are required, as well as something called statement of purpose that will show your experience, and also why you want to attend the graduate school, whether you are capable of handling your own research project. So you need to create something called statement of purpose. So it should include those things. So it should not be longer than 2 pages. And it should be in double space, because that will help the mentor or your supervisor to read and get an idea about what you have been doing and what are the experience that you have and how capable you are. So it's important to write this statement of purpose thoughtfully. That's why I have mentioned a thoughtfully written statement of purpose. And also they need GRE scores, TOEFL, IELTS. So GRE, TOEFL, basically important when you are pursuing PhD programs in United States. But even in United States, some universities, they don't need GRE, because GRE shows your verbal reasoning skills, quantitative reasoning, critical thinking, while other TOEFL and IELTS, they focus on language requirement. So it depends on the program, country, and the university that you are going to follow the PhD. So that's why it's important to go to the websites and look for their requirements. And depending on the university, some programs may have additional requirements. Okay, now let's move on to preparation of your CV. So as we all know, we have CVs and resume. So you should know the difference between CV and resume. So resume is some kind of a snapshot of your CV, but when you're applying for master's and PhD programs, not the resume, but resumes also will be important, but mostly CV is the most important thing that they expect. So CV is a document that details your entire academic history. And also it will help your employer or your supervisor to get an idea about your experience and your academic performance likewise. And also it's a continually evolving document, because if you receive an achievement today, what you can do is you need to quickly add that into your CV. That's why it's continuously updating. And depending on your qualifications and your experiences, the length of the CV can be unlimited, but it should be focused. Sorry. So these are important when you're applying for these kind of PhDs as well as grants and awards. So if we see in this slide, this includes what we need to include in your CV. So first thing, you need to include your details. And some CVs, they expect to have a personal statement and your education, language skills, about your research, what you have been doing during your undergraduate research, and whether you have done any presentations, and your experiences and skills, and also extracurricular activities, memberships. So referees, it depends. In some countries, they don't include referees. But in our country, I have seen most of the CVs, they have included referees. So these are the components of a CV, and it depends on your personal preference what to include or what not to include. But most of the time, it's good if you can include these things in your CV. Now, there are some do's and don'ts. So when you have prepared your CV, it's good if you can show it to some resource person, like detail-oriented person who can review your resume or CV. And you need to prepare it very well, because it's like, it's a document that will help you to get through and get a chance for an interview. You can call it as the vehicle to get a job. Okay, so it is important to prepare your CV nicely and very clearly. And also you can request the help from your mentor or your lecturer when you're preparing the CV, and you need to specifically focus on certain keywords that need to be included in the CV. Otherwise, CVs will get rejected, because when we are trying to find jobs, especially in foreign countries, supervisors will not screen your CVs. What they do is they use robot, or they use hiring managers to screen your CV or resume. And they check specifically for keywords. And if you don't follow these keywords, your CV will be automatically rejected. So that's why it's important to have your CV well focused and well oriented. And there are some do nots that you need to consider when you're preparing your CV. And in United States, they say you don't need to include your photo, because in Sri Lanka, I can remember even I have added my photo to my CV, but in United States, it's a very diverse, like there is a lot of population, there is a lot of diversity in this country, and they ask not to include the photo and marital status, parental status, city, ID, our height, weight, physical descriptions, birth weight, and they say that it is not good to include them. And also references, they say that don't include references or the referees in your CV. You can just mention references available upon your request. Also, when you prepare your CV at the title, you don't need to write curriculum vitae, CV, or resume. So those are the do nots. And here in the left side, we can see the do's when you're preparing your CV, because keep in mind CV, cover letter, And the email inquiry that you are going to send to your supervisor will create the impression about you. So that impression can make a huge effect and impact on you. So it is important to develop and create your CV, cover letter, in a very good way. So when we move on to the cover letter, so cover letter is the first document that your supervisor or employee see. It is kind of an introduction to your CV. Not only an introduction to your CV, but it will give them an image of your writing style. So that is why cover letter is also very much important. So cover letter always help you to elaborate your experiences to the people, and also highlights your experiences, and it will provide a sample of your written communication skills, and it will help you to demonstrate how you are suitable for the program. And also a cover letter should not longer than 1 page. It should include 3 to 4 paragraphs. So I'm going to show you a cover letter. So this is a sample of a cover letter. So if you're writing it through an email, you don't need to include the date and recipient's name likewise. So it usually includes 4 paragraphs. First paragraph, you need to explain why you have selected them. You need to show the importance of them. So first paragraph, you should include why them. And in the second paragraph, about your skills and how you are become a good fit to their program. So in the third paragraph, you can elaborate your experience and why you are important. So basically, second and third paragraph focuses on your capabilities, your experiences, and your education background that will make a perfect match to this program. And in the fourth paragraph, you can show, you can write them that at any point of the process, you are happy to contact them via phone call or via email. And lastly, you have to thank them very politely for considering for this candidacy. So that is how you need to draft a cover letter. So don't write like a lot of jargon. You need to be specific, and your cover letter needs to be well focused and well written. So next step is how to find a supervisor. So that is the most important thing, because supervisors can make your life easy, and some supervisors will not make any impact on your career, but some supervisors can make your life into more trouble. So it is important to find a good supervisor as well as a supervisor who has the similar interest. Okay, now let's say how to find a supervisor. So as we know, these supervisors are very busy. Research is not the only work that need to do. They have a lot of meetings, they need to teach students, they have a lot of things to be done. So they are very busy people, and you should know how to get their attention. So it's not easy. You need to sharpen your profile. You need to arrange your CV nicely. You need to arrange your cover letter nicely. And also you need to write them very politely. So some people say finding a good supervisor, that is test your luck, but I don't believe. So find a supervisor. First thing you need to do is you need to explore. You need to explore the university website, and you need to find their profile and whether the research that supervisor is doing tally with your research interest, because it is important. Because if you find a supervisor and if that supervisor does not have your research interest, so it will not drive you, right? So you have to find a good supervisor as well as a supervisor that has the same interest. And you need to write to them. So you need to know what do you require and what you should write. So in your in the previous slides, I described you what are the characteristics or what are the components that need to be included in your CV, how to write a cover letter. So when you're writing to your possible supervisors, you need to include your CV, cover letter, sometimes the email inquiry, and scanned copies of your degree certificates as well as student result sheets. So those are the things that you need to include when you are trying to contact your supervisor. So as I told you, first method, you can search through universities because universities have published their profiles. So you can do research and review profiles of MLS, biomedical sciences, or medicine researchers. So I have shown a screenshot of the Emory University. So this is the Emory University website. And in the search page, if you search for the specific area that you are interested in. So I searched for genetic researchers. So I found the Department of Human Genetics and Research at Emory University. So this is how you search. So when you move further, so you will direct to the Department of Human Genetics and you can see their profiles. So this Michael Gambello. So they have the email addresses given. So you can write to them. And this Timothy Reed, right? Even Timothy has his email addresses. So you can write to them and see whether their research interests tally with you. For example, in their university website, they have displayed the research interest of these resource persons. For an example, whether they have the research interest in human genetics field or immune hematology and whether you like it. So that is the first thing you have to think. And also you can see their histories because in the university pages, in their profiles, they have given the histories of their research supervision and about their publications. And also you can see whether they have funds available because funding is very important because there are projects without funding and we cannot go for those projects because funding is most important. And also you can network, you can talk, or you can write to his or her former postdocs, his or her former PhD students and ask about the supervisor. So you can do network and you can get an idea about the supervisor's work. And this is how you can draft an email to check the possible PhD or master's opportunity. You can write to a supervisor like this: dear professor, I am, you write your name and you can say I'm attached to the medical laboratories program. I completed my bachelor's or master's degree in this discipline. I wish to apply for a PhD because I have the passion of doing these things. So it's a requirement to obtain my what do you call promotion likewise. So you can draft an email like this and send to them. So this is an example of an email that you can draft. Also, you can write an email like this to inquire a lab opening. Right, I'm recently graduated with BSc MLS from University of Ruhuna. I'm writing too because I'm very interested in the work group. Your work group, and I have read several recent publication papers in this topic. Likewise, you can draft an email inquiry in a polite way that can take supervisors' attention, because the supervisors will receive maximum like nearly 50 emails per day, and they hardly will get chance to read this email. But if you have drafted your email nicely and very precisely, they also feel like, I should read this email. If I don't have time now, they can put a note, maybe later I will read this and I should respond this person. So that is the importance of this. And you can say later, I would be happy to talk to you about the opportunity to join your lab. I can be reached at my email and your phone number. Likewise, very politely, you can draft your email. So this is one of the emails that I drafted for my supervisor, because when I was reading my PhD, so there were 3 stages. So in the final stage, my prof wanted me to do something called linkage analysis, but by that time, I could not find resource persons in Sri Lanka. So I wrote to many people, and this is the email I drafted, and I wrote nearly 100, maybe like more than 100 people. So finally, one supervisor from the National Institute of Health, she agreed me. So this is the initial email that I wrote to her regarding the possible whether she has any time, or whether she has any willingness to help my project. And she drafted her email like this exactly after the next day of my email. So this is an example. So I'm glad she responded. So when you're writing your cover letter or email, you need to create a unique cover letter. There are a lot of templates available as guides, but you have to create a unique one and an own one for you. And also, when you're creating these cover letters, take time, read profiles of researchers very nicely and very well, and try to edit your cover letter as it matches to their interest. Okay, you cannot write, or you cannot send the same cover letter to all potential supervisors, because their research interest varies. So if you send the cover letter that you drafted for a supervisor, it will not work for the other supervisor. So you have to adjust, or you have to edit, and try to write for all the potential supervisors. And while you're writing or while you're drafting, you can attach your CV, cover letter, and as I mentioned, you can attach your degree certificates, results sheets along with your email. And also, it's better if you can write to them in the morning around 8 a.m. in their time, because that time they search for the email. So it's good if you can write to them, or if you can let them receive your email during that time. And also give them sufficient time to respond. As I told you, they are very busy. They have a lot of work. So give them sufficient time to respond. And if there's no response, you can send a polite reminder email. Also, you can use this email tracking software like Banana Tracking for Gmail. So if the receiver opens your email, you will get a notification, so that you can get an idea whether the supervisor has received and opened the email or not. So you can use these things when you are writing, drafting, and when you are sending emails for potential supervisors. So it is important not to give up. As I told you, if you write to 100 people, you can get green light from at least 5. So don't get discouraged. Don't say that nobody respond me. So don't give up. It depends on your profile and how hard you try. Keep in mind. So that is important. And I told you the first method is you can search potential supervisors in the university website. And then second method is you can go for these kind of websites. So find PhD. So this is the Find PhD website, and you can search for like genetics PhD. So when I did search, I could find these possible PhD project. So this is from University of Tasmania. So the supervisor's name is there, and the deadline of acceptance is 30th September 2024. It's a PhD project and it is a funded project. So students worldwide can apply. But there are certain projects that they specifically focus on the residents of those countries. But this project I specifically selected because it's a funded project. Students worldwide can apply. So when you go to more details, you can see the details of the project and what are they going to do. So by that way, you can select these kind of possible projects and then apply. And the third method is sometimes the universities advertise projects, right? So you can search, you can do research in these universities for these projects so that you can apply. And you can type the key terms like open PhD positions or research opportunities. So if there are possible projects, you can see them. And also you can search in the university, like University Grants Commission website and Ministry of Higher Education website in Sri Lanka. So this is a screenshot of University Grants Commission website, and they have published 2 scholarships here. And this is the Ministry of Higher Education website. So they have their timetable. What are the months that they publish these scholarships? So the Commonwealth Use Case Scholarship, you can see that in August every year. So they advertise Japan Next Scholarship, UK Commonwealth Scholarship. So you can get an idea about these scholarships if you follow those websites as well. Also, there are opportunities like Australian Awards, Destination Australia program. Likewise, there are other resources as well. And also, I would like to tell you, if you can please develop your communication skills. Okay, you have to start it from today onwards. You can talk with your friends, you can listen to you can watch English films. So it is very important to develop your communication skills. So I have gone to several conferences now in United States of America. So I feel like how fluently, how nicely the native speakers talk. But I will not be able to talk like a native speaker, but if I can talk confidently and if I can express the idea that I want to convey, so that is my goal. So try to develop your communication skills. That is very, very important. You should start it today. Don't go and meet your lecturer, or don't go and meet your mentor and try to talk in Sinhala. It's okay. You can make mistakes. Even I do make mistakes. So develop your communication skills. Try to talk in English as much as possible. And also try to publish your undergraduate research project. Is important. It is very important. It doesn't matter you cannot publish it in a peer-reviewed journal, but try to publish it as an abstract in the university research conferences. And also try networking as much as possible, because I know the importance of networking. I am here because of networking. Okay, try to network as much as possible. Try to talk with people. Okay, try to find out the opportunities. Try to see how we can get help from them. And also be active in LinkedIn. I told you this thing. And also it's important if you can develop your practical statistics and bioinformatics. So when you come to a foreign country like this, there are plenty of research. They focus on statistics and bioinformatics. So it is better if you can follow these courses. And also, if you can, it's optional actually. That's why I have put it in italic. It's good if you can follow a statistical programming language like R or Python. So when you do advanced genetic research, it is important. And also be prepared to apply before or sooner you are graduated. So, you know, students, undergraduate students at the science faculties and other faculties, they complete their GRE and TOEFL when they are in the final year. So, and sooner they graduated or before graduation, they got the acceptance from universities to pursue PhD. So keep in mind, be prepared to apply before or sooner you are graduated. It is very, very important. Because still, some of my friends call me and say, Prabhavi, I want to follow postgraduate study, but they're too late. But it's okay, still they have the passion, but you have earlier the better. So keep in mind, earlier the better. And also accept the risk, take the risk, and willing to accept challenges. If you accept the challenge, only you will be able to open up the path. So don't be afraid. You have a lot of opportunities and you are following a very good degree program with a lot of opportunities, world recognized program. So take the risk, willing to accept challenges. And also, this bullet point is not that important, but still I feel like I should tell you, apply for DVA lottery every year. So it's just a lottery. You don't need to pay or you don't need to have the passport. You need to have your photo and the photos of your family members. Just try to apply. So they start they opened the program in October and they closed in November. Please try to apply for that. If you get the chance, you can be a citizen of the United States. So it's up to you. Okay. And don't be emotional. There are students who are very emotional. Madam, I don't have these things. Madam, I have this problem. Madam, I could not study well. I don't have money. So don't be emotional. And you have to believe in yourself. First thing you need to know is you are following a very good demanding degree program. Be proud of yourself and believe in yourself and dream for it. Never give up. Okay. So now I'm going to boast about myself. So this is not boasting actually. I just want to show my path, how I developed my career, just to inspire or just to motivate you. So I started my academic career in 2007 from University of Peradeniya. So as I told you, I'm from the second batch of the medical laboratory science. So I respectfully tell you, Sandamali madam is and Kalani madam, they are from my senior batch. So, and I learned a lot from them. So I started it from the University of Peradeniya, and then now, from 2023 May onwards, I'm working as a postdoctoral research fellow at the National Institute of Health. So this is me. I have 2 kids and my path is not a bed of roses. I had a lot of difficulties. I had to face a lot of problems, but I am here. So you also might be facing a lot of issues. You will face issues. Don't get discouraged. And this is about my career. So as I told you, I was an undergraduate at the Department of Medical Laboratory Science, University of Peradeniya. Soon I graduated, I joined the Durden's Laboratory Hospital as a medical laboratory scientist. I worked at the Gaul branch and I was there nearly 6 months, and then I joined as a clinical research coordinator attached to the clinical trials unit, University of Kelaniya. So I handled 2 clinical trials. The trials were conducted in the rheumatology clinic as well as the diabetic clinic at the teaching hospital Karapitia. So I worked there nearly 6 months or so. Then I got the opportunity to join as the temporary demonstrator at the Faculty of Health Sciences, University of Peradeniya. So during that time, I started and registered for my master's degree in experimental biotechnology at PGIS, University of Peradeniya. And in the meantime, after 1 year, I got selected for lecturer probationary position at your department. And during that time, I registered for a PhD. So that's why I told it was a requirement for us to do postgraduate studies, and I must honored and I must thankful the University of Ruhuna for driving me to these milestones in my life. So then I appointed as a senior lecturer at the Department of Medical Laboratory Science since November 2022, as I can remember. So after that, due to several reasons, I had to accept the postdoctoral visiting fellow at the National Institute of Health, United States. So, and then I'm here. So I'm working as a postdoctoral visiting fellow at the National Institute of Health, United States. So keep in mind, recommendations shed light into your life. So I told you I'm here because of the recommendation provided by my supervisor, Bailey Wilson. So after doing my work with my supervisor, Professor John Bailey Wilson, so she's a emeritus professor in NIH, and she was the head statistical genetics section, branch chief, computational statistical genomic branch, National Genome Research Institute, National Institute of Health. Now she's a retired emeritus professor. So she wrote a good comment about me to my professor, Wijesiriwardhana. So this is an example how recommendation shed light into her life. So she was one of the persons who provide recommendation for my postdoc study as well. So these are some of the clips in my career throughout. So I got my PhD from the University of Colombo. So this is my time at the University of Ruhuna. So I found I have a lot of friends here, but unfortunately I could not find good photos. So this is the only photo that I could attach here. So this is my lab. So I have this is me and Tesfa, so Randy, Kathy, Jessica, Fazia, Kathy, and Adrian. So these are my lab members. So it's me, and this is where I do my presentation. It's a poster presentation, and this is also a conference that I was participated last November. And little bit about work at NIH. So I do work on influence of maternal genetics on fetal grower. And also I worked on how placental aging influence fetal growth. And also I work on genome-wide association studies on longitudinal trajectories of fetal growth, because in ICHD they have cohorts like fetal growth cohorts and different cohorts. So we work on those cohorts and we collect data and we work on these basically how maternal genetics affect fetal growth. So I have published manuscripts, and I'm writing several other manuscripts as well. So I received several awards, and getting an award in United States is very difficult. And anyway, I think luck is there in me always. So I got these awards, and today I got to know that I was elected for an oral presentation, and having an oral presentation in United States, it's a very, very difficult task. So I'm proud of myself, and you should also be proud of yourself, because I too had similar situation like you. So in 2007, I were an undergraduate, and I had to face all the difficulties. Not like you. Now you have a very good degree program. By that time, we never knew whether we will be able to continue our degree program. So we had a lot of obstacles. So if we could achieve this pathway, so you also will be able to achieve it without any difficulty. So this is my take-home message. Never give up. There is always hope, because there is always help. So you should be in a position to ask for help, okay? So never give up. There is always hope, because there is always help. People are there to help you, but people should know that you need help. So at any time you feel like you need help, go to your lecturers, go to your mentors, or go to any resource person and ask for help. Remind you, I'm here because I searched for help and they gave me help. Sorry. So with this slide, I'm going to end up the presentation. I hope you had an enjoyable presentation and you could learn at least something from my career or the things that I have been discussing with you. So keep in mind, may today hold the promise of many great tomorrows. I wish you all the very best. So at any point, if you feel like you need to talk to me and you need to contact me. So there is a time difference. Now it is like, what's the time now? It's 12:48 p.m. Sorry, 12:48 a.m. here in Bethesda, but irrespective of the time difference, so I'm always willing to help you. You can talk to the lecturers in your department, and if you still feel that you need my help, I'm happy to help you at any time you want. So I wish you all the very best, and I hope you will achieve your dream, and I hope you will be proud of yourself, as well as you will get an opportunity to make your parents be proud of you. And I congratulate the new faculty. I'm so happy to see the new faculty, and it's very beautiful. And I must thank all the faculty members of the Department of Medical Laboratory Science. They take a huge effort to uplift your program, and I know how hard they take to uplift your education. So take the maximum out of them and try to make your life fruitful and a very good one. All the very best, and thank you for listening to my talk.
Thank you very much, Dr. Prabhavi Wijesiriwardhana, for allocating your precious time for us and sharing your invaluable insights. We sincerely appreciate your presence and the knowledge you have imparted today. We now open the floor for questions. This is your opportunity to engage directly with our esteemed speaker. Please feel free to unmute your microphones and ask your questions, or if you prefer, you can submit them via the chat box. We welcome questions in both English and Sinhala languages.
Okay, I see a chat question. Can I read it for you?
Yes, sure.
Yes, so I have got a scholarship to do a degree of Doctor of Physiotherapy in Pakistan. Currently, I'm studying MLS University of Virginia. What is the best choice, ma'am? Could you please suggest the best choice in this matter? So I just want to ask whether you have completed your MLS program. I'm wondering, how can you go for Doctor of Physiotherapy directly? So I think it's better to continue your work at University of Peradeniya, but let me think and let you know. But yeah, why don't you continue and complete your MLS program and then think about that? So yeah, I hope you got the answer. Thank you for your valuable lecture. Could you please explain me about the purpose of finding a supervisor? What a research is? Can we do master's degree MPhil by doing job? What is personal statement? Okay. So could you please explain me about the purpose of finding a supervisor? Okay. In like uh, in like for an example, in Australia or in certain countries or certain universities, the way of finding postgraduate program is to contact a potential supervisor, and if the supervisor said okay, then with the help of the supervisor you need to apply through the graduate program. You need to develop a proposal and you need to apply, or you need to make the application process through the graduate program and then apply for a scholarship. So that's why it is important to contact a potential supervisor. But in United States of America, you can either contact a potential supervisor and search for the possible opportunities. If not, you can directly contact the graduate program and go through the process. So that is the importance of contacting a supervisor, so you can verify you will get the opportunity or not. And also depends on the country and the university. You need to contact a supervisor, or you need to go through the graduate program. It depends on the university or the supervisor. Or can we do master's degree or MPhil while doing a job? Yes, there are masters even in Sri Lanka. There are masters where you can do part-time. So the master I did, so I had lectures on Friday evening, full Saturday and Sunday. Yes, you can do master's degree while working, but I have no idea about MPhil. You have to contact the potential supervisor or the postgraduate program, and you need to stick to their requirement. What is a personal statement? So I told you, so when you're applying for, especially in postgraduate programs in United States, you need to draft a personal statement that will show your enthusiasm, that will show you as a good fit to that program. So you need to draft a personal statement, which we call it as SOP. It's not standard operating procedure, but it's a statement of purpose that will show your supervisor why he or she should consider you as a potential candidate for your program. Okay? And do we 100% must need a class with a degree to apply? No. Class means it's good if you can have a first class, but if you have a second class upper or second class lower, or I have known people who have obtained just a pass, but they have got a chance to do postgraduate studies. But if it's good if you can get high GPA in your undergraduate program, but if you could not achieve, then rather than directly go for a PhD program, you can do other masters or MPhil and then go for a PhD program. Everything depends on the requirement of the program, but don't get discouraged if you don't have a good class. Still, it's possible. Can we follow? Can we follow MSc in Sri Lanka with a PAS degree? Yes, I think so. It's good if you can have a higher GPA, but if you have just a PAS, I think they will allow you. But it's good if you have just passed and at least and some kind of a publication, but they will consider most of the time. But don't get discouraged. Talk to the program coordinators, go search in the websites and go search in the requirements. So I think you will be able to do masters if you have just a pass. Should someone with general degree follow external courses too? Should someone with a general degree follow external courses to proceed masters? Yeah, if the general degree, if you cannot proceed with a general degree, yes, you should follow external courses to proceed with master's degree. And mainly it depends on the program that you want to follow. Sometimes they will directly offer the eligibility to proceed for a master's degree. Yeah, there is a chance. Even though you have a general degree, you can proceed with master's. It depends on the requirement of the particular program, but it is important to contact the coordinator and check their eligibility criteria. Don't get discouraged. Yeah, the common question is that if you have a general degree, I think so, but I might not be correct. Better thing is you have to select the specific program that you want to follow, the master's degree that you want to follow. There are program coordinators and you have the contact details in the websites. So please contact them and ask. They will let you know. Don't get discouraged. Okay. Okay. Is there any additional courses that we can do while during our bachelor's? So when I was an undergraduate student, I did HRM course, and there are a lot of courses available in Coursera, so you can follow them, and it's important. Yes, that will be helpful. That will be helpful for your career. Okay. Madam, it need to do the research same field for... No. It is not necessary to go to MSc and PhD. It is not necessary that you need to select the field that you followed in your undergraduate research. No, you can deviate if you like. Right? I know some of you have the interest in microbiology, but you get the project in hematology. But when you're doing MSCs and PhDs, you can go to your interest field. Doesn't matter, irrespective of the project that you did for the undergraduate, you can find your own discipline. Thank you, madam. Please let me ask one more question. Okay, the personal statement and the cover letter basically same. Okay, the cover letter is something that describes your CV, that shows you how you are a good fit to the program. But basically the cover letter focus on your CV. That will explain your CV. So the personal statement basically focus on particular program that will show you interest and your experience and everything. So it is moreover same, but it's different because the cover letter slightly explain your CV, whereas personal statements specifically focus on to the advertisement or the project that they are focusing. But when you're writing or in US universities, they basically check for your personal statement. In that case, they don't check your cover letter. So basically, when you're applying for USA, what you need to have is statement of purpose, English language requirement, and your education qualifications need to be evaluated, and also letters of recommendation. So it's true that personal statement and cover letter, basically, they are little bit same, but the cover letter describes your CV, but the personal statement that specifically focus on the job or the program that you're focused on, and that will show your interest. So when they require a statement of purpose, they will not require a cover letter. So either cover letter or the personal statement will be accepted. Madam, it need to do the research and field for. Okay. Madam, I'm interested in molecular medicine. What countries provide better? Madam, I'm still undergraduate, but I want to have a dream country and dream university. So your dream country and your dream university has to be selected by you, right? Not me. There are plenty of opportunities. So how can I know your dream country and dream university? Okay. How about postgraduate diploma? So there are postgraduate diplomas in various disciplines, but the content-wise, they are not that mature like MSCs and master's program. So postgraduate diplomas are available in marketing as well as HRM. So those programs are important if you want to increase your career in like medical laboratory scientist or supervisor in the laboratory. So content-wise, they are much lower than masters and MPhils. So what do you mean by how about postgraduate diploma? So I hope I have given the answer. What are the other positions? In the government sector and I think it's MLT or MLS. But if you join private sector, you can go for QC operator, QC scientist, or there are certain positions like a lab manager, something like that. Or if there are research positions available in the hospital, you can join them. What kind of extracurricular activities do they look for considering potential candidates? Could you please give an example? So like leadership. So like this medical laboratory science, Ruhuna Medical Laboratory Science Society. So there are leaders. So it's a good example for the leadership. Okay. And you have your journal club. So those are classic examples to show your extracurricular activities. Madam, it's possible to get scholarship before completing the degree. Yeah, before completing the degree, you should have at least, they require your result sheet. But before graduation, you can get a scholarship. Before completing the degree, I'm not sure because they require your result sheet. So I can say before your convocation, you can get a scholarship. But before completing the degree, it will be hard. It says, I'm an MS graduate with a first class, started writing supervisor since last year, but yet not positive rest. I'm so disappointed. What should I consider? Ashan, can you do me a favor?
Yeah, sure, madam.
Hello. Can you read these questions so that it's difficult for me to read? That's the thing. Can you read these questions for me, please? Madam, it is possible to get a scholarship. I read it that and the question after that, please.
I can't see the question, madam. Can you share it with me?
Oh, how can I share it?
You can copy it and send me as a message.
Oh,
it
all
to the
these
chat too.
questions have been directly sent to me, right?
Yeah.
Oh, what can I do? Okay, okay.
Can you copy it and put it to the chat?
Okay. Yes. Okay. It's not sending. Everyone in meeting. How can I enter? Did you receive them?
Not yet, madam.
Okay. So, can you do me a favor? When you are sending questions, can you make it readable to everyone, not directly to me, please?
Okay. I got
You
some
receive it?
questions, madam. Yes.
Oh, please read it.
Okay. Madam, I was following the external pharmacy course before entering the MLS degree, but I stopped it in my first year in degree. Will it be helpful if I had completed it?
I know there are few people who have followed the external pharmacy course, but you have to check whether you can obtain the pharmacy course, the certificate or whatever they issued at the same time when you are getting the MLS degree. Because I think I have no idea about that, because if you can get both degrees and both the qualifications, and if that does not make any problem to your MLS degree, yes, it's good if you can continue, but you have to go and ask the college council or the Sri Lankan Medical Council whether you can take both what you call the diploma or the certificate course and the degree at the same time. If that does not affect your degree, so that will be good.
Okay, the next question is, I am a MLS graduate with the first class. I started writing to supervisors since last year, but yet I didn't get any positive response. I am so disappointed. What should I consider when writing to supervisors and when arranging my resume? Most of the people from science faculties directly get scholarship for masters or PhD without doing a master's or MPhil in Sri Lanka. I am struggling a lot finding a graduate opportunity. Please give me some advice related to this problem. Thank you so much, Dr. Prabha.
Okay, so, you know, with science faculty students, so the reason is there are plenty of PhD holders and PhD following students in the science faculties. So the reason why they get these PhD scholarships in other universities is because if one of your senior student go there and perform well, so other students will also get an opportunity to enter those universities. It's true that science faculty students, they will directly go for PhDs in other countries. But the problem with us is we have a few people who are pursuing PhD programs in other countries, and the reputation, we need to create the reputation. So if you can get an opportunity there, and if you can make a good reputation, so they will also continuously tend to seek the possibilities of getting medical laboratory science undergraduates. So, but there are people who have gone directly for PhDs. So I know University of Peradeniya pharmacy B.Pharm graduate. So he has directly come to a university here. So it's not impossible, but there should be a lot of issues, or there should be an issue with your cover, what you call the statement of purpose or your CV. And it is better if you can go get together with your mentor or with some person who is capable of doing that and write the cover letter or your CV nicely and keep applying. So that is the problem. So don't compare your things with the science faculty people, because they have their image is already being created. So yeah, so for us it's a challenging because our degree programs are new. But once somebody go there, and if he or she can create a good image, so ultimately you will get the chance. But keep on applying. You should get an opportunity. So you should need to adjust your resume, or you should need to adjust your CV. Maybe there are issues, or maybe you're not writing your CV properly, or something might be there. And since you have a first class, and if you receive good recommendation from your supervisors, so definitely you will be able to secure a position. So keep applying. And did I answer the question, Asha? I think so, right? So don't compare our profiles with science graduates, right? So the story is different, and we are emerging field. So yeah, there's a little bit of struggle, but that is not unachievable. It's achievable. Okay.
Madam, we have more questions. Shall I read them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you explain how to get the job? I think she's asking about the procedure in USA or New Zealand directly, promising that I will do masters while doing the job.
So if you want to do a job in the medical laboratory science field in the United States, basically you need to get the certification from American Society of Clinical Pathologists or the particular governing bodies related to that. And if you get that certification, and if you apply for a position, so once you have that certification, you are eligible to apply for positions in United States. And once you get selected for a position, so they will offer you visa. In that case, you can come here and you can do work. And in the meantime, if your job let you follow masters or whatever, you can complete it as well. So basically, our Sri Lanka Medical Council registration will not be considered if you want to work in US or even in other countries. You have to obtain the registration from this country and then apply for the job. And if you get selected, they will offer you visa. In that case, you can come and you can start your job here. Yes, Ashan?
Yeah, the next question is, Madam, are there any internship programs available in Sri Lanka in which we can participate during our degree program?
I'm sorry, I have no idea about that. But definitely, your madam, your department lecturers might have an idea. Please contact them and see. But internship wise means you can go to like some laboratory, and you can, I don't know whether without license or any other thing you can work, but like I'm not sure about that. I'm sorry. You have to search. If not, you can ask your mentors or the academic staff, please. I'm sorry, I have no idea about that.
The next question is, good morning, madam. First of all, thank you very much for such valuable information and motivation. Madam, may I know what is the difference between MPhil and MSc and how will it affect further steps? Secondly, may I know if we try to go industrial side, is MSc helpful and what are the specific things we should consider?
Okay, so MSc, the first question is MSc and FAHS difference. So I think I described you in the first few slides. So here, MSc, there is a 1-year MSc program without the research component, but there is a 2-year MSc program that includes high credits as well as more than 15 credits for the research component. So MPhil is fully research program, and extensive research will be done in an MPhil program. So that is the basic difference between a master's and an MPhil program. Where masters have coursework, sometimes a master's they have coursework plus the research component, and MPhil is a total research program. Okay, and what is the other question, Ashan? Okay, for the industry, it depends. It depends. Basically, actually, it depends. Having a master's in like MBA, and having a master's in like MBA will be an added qualification for industry or the managerial positions. But it depends actually. If it depends on the industry as well as it depends on the position that you're going to apply. So if you want to go for a higher position in industry, having a master would be an added qualification, especially the managerial masters like MBA and something related to HRM. And here in United States, if you want to go to the industry, you should have at least a PhD. Otherwise, you will not be eligible. So having masters or PhDs in United States is a qualification to enter the industry. Yes, at least having a master's would be important, but there are some options. When you are in the industry, they will let you follow masters, So in that case, it is better if you can enter to the industry and then follow masters. But everything depends on the requirement of the employer. So yes.
Someone is asking about the qualification we need to acquire to become a lecturer in government university. Do we have opportunities only in allied health science faculties?
The qualification wise, it depends on the requirement of the department. So when you're applying for, when they advertise the position, they do advertise the qualification. Basically, you need to have a class, and it's good if you can have teaching experience, and it's good if you can have research experience, and it's better if you can have publications as well as postgraduate studies that you have followed. So that is what basically you need to become eligible or to become a candidate of the academic programs. What is the next question, Ashan?
Do we have opportunities only in allied health science faculties?
No. Not only in allied health science faculties. So there are many opportunities in the medical faculties or in the technology faculty. So in medical faculty, you can go to the biochemistry department, microbiology department, and there are many departments, even in the technology faculty. So not only in medical laboratory science, you can apply for other departments in other universities as well. But you need to be qualified and you need to have a good profile that matches the requirement of the employer. It means you need to be a good fit for the advertised position. Yes, Asha.
Question. Madam, I love to work as a medical laboratory scientist abroad, but there is a problem of getting government job gazette in Sri Lanka after graduation, and I want to know, will it not be possible to go abroad without government job work experience?
Yeah, having 2-year experience is a must, right? So I recently contacted one of my junior colleague. So he got the certification from Australia and New Zealand. He told me that at least 2-year experience is needed. And yeah, the experience is important because you can get the registration, but when you're applying for positions, they need your experience. So that is important. Yeah.
Madam, is it possible do research by own while being an undergraduate combining IT field?
Research by own. As a requirement of your degree program, or I'm not clear. If you want to do research and if that does not disturb your undergraduate coursework and other stuff, you can do. But I don't know, doing IT field research will eligible you to become graduate. If you want to do research, yes, you can do as much as possible, but without tarnishing your academic career or without making any disturbance to your academic program. Yes, Ashan. Next question.
Madam, do we get the SLMC registration directly after the completion of bachelor's degree, and is there any documentation to be done?
Okay, so I got SLMC registration in 2014. If the rules have not been changed, so what I did was there is a set of what do you call the applications that need to be taken from College Council, which is situated in the Colombo Medical Faculty. So you need to complete set of applications, and we received a certification from College Ceylon Medical Council, CMC. So thereafter, with that certificate, there is another set of application that need to be submitted to the SLMC. After we submitted our application along with the CMC certification, we got the SLMC. So you can go to the Colombo Medical Faculty and there is a separate tab for CMC. You can search there. They will let you know all the required documentation, as well as if you can go to the Sri Lanka Medical Council website. Everything has been explained in detail. Yes.
Can we add courses followed from Coursera, Alison to our CV?
Yeah, yes.
If someone have low GPA and still interested doing postgraduate studies, what is the advice you have to give to them?
So don't get discouraged. Try to identify your interest postgraduate degree program. Go to the website, contact the program coordinators, and check the requirements. And if you don't have the sufficient requirements, contact the program coordinators and ask them whether you are eligible for that. So I think don't get discouraged. I think you will be able to pursue a state masters even though you don't have qualifications. So if you are be able to follow a masters, then you can build up a qualification, build up your qualifications that will lead you to obtain MPhil or a PhD. So don't get discouraged, but best thing is to contact the program coordinators, because in the websites, phone numbers and email, everything is there. What you have to do is just write to them. They will explain everything so that you can get an idea. Don't get discouraged. Ashan?
That's all, madam.
Okay. So I can see 12 new messages. I think you have read everything, right?
I read everything I got.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Diganta. Nice to hear from you. Hi, Ranga. Thank you. Okay. It's 1:30 a.m. here. And you know, I wanted to have this discussion when my kids are sleeping, but my daughter wanted to stay with me now. She's like sleeping. So I'm glad that I got this opportunity to talk to you. And yeah, even though I stay far away, you all are still in my heart. So anytime if you need my help, I'm happy to help you. And I wish you all the very best. Can we wind up? Oh, what is next, Ashan?
So this is the end of our Q&A session. Thank you for the insightful questions and a robust discussion. Before we proceed further, I kindly request you all to turn on your videos so we can take a group screenshot to commemorate this moment. Thank you all. As we approach the conclusion of this session, I would like to invite Mr. Ravinder Jitmal, the Vice President of Ruhuna Medical Laboratory Science Student Society, to deliver the vote of thanks. Mr. Ravinder, over to you.
Good morning, all of you. Dr. J.N. Sadamali, Head of the Department of Medical Laboratory Science, and our beloved guest speaker, Dr. Prabhavi Wijesiriwardhana, beloved lecturers, and all the undergraduates. This is the first episode of the webinar series organized by our society in this year to make you aware about postgraduate opportunities for MLS graduates. Today, I got the privilege to deliver the vote of thanks regarding this prestigious occasion. Obviously, I believe that we all got that gifted opportunity to explore the potential of graduates in front of a living example. So I like to thank all who enlightened our path to make this webinar a reality. Especially I thank Professor Imendra Kotopola, Dean of Faculty of Allied Health Science, for the given maximum support and blessing for us, and Head of Department Medical Laboratory Science, Dr. J.N. Sadamali, for all the courage and your honorable participation. And I like to give my special thanks to Dr. Prabhavi Wijesiriwardhana, the guest speaker, who shared her precious knowledge, attitudes, skills, experiences with all of us to level up our future occupations as MLS graduates and the massive motivation for us as undergraduates. And also, I like to express my gratitude to Dr. Sachin Chamarasinghe and Dr. Rangasilla, who gave their generous guidance and time to make this program success. And I thank for all the lecturers who participated to this event to give us a strength and uncountable support. I like to thank all the members of our society, especially President Mr. Ashan Satsar and Junior Editor Mr. Kalun Disanayake, and moderators Ms. Tiyumi Amarasinghe and Ms. Vasana, and all the committee members of the society. Finally, I like to thank all the undergraduates and participants who came here to give value to all the effort that we have taken and also motivate us to organize more and more remarkable events like this. So thank you for listening to me and your golden time. Wish you a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ravinder, for your thoughtful words. With that, we bring this first session of our webinar series to a close. We sincerely hope that today's discussion has provided you with the guidance and information you were seeking regarding the postgraduate opportunities for medical laboratory science graduates.
Thank you all for joining us today, and we look forward to welcome you to the next session of our webinar series. Until then, take care and have a wonderful day.